Welcome to another edition of Vintage Drum Restoration Garage. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for asking. I am having a good day myself. And I thought I'd bring you a short installation procedure on these vintage mounts that fit. This mount fits either a Camco or a Gretsch round badge bass drum from the 60s on up into the, I think, early 70s, real early, and 50s as well, I believe. So this deals pretty much just exclusively with these brands, Camco and Gretsch. And this is your basic rail Consolette, and I'm going to show you how I put them on and how I adjust them, and how to use a longer spade as well. So let me get a bass drum here, and we're going to take it apart and show you exactly how to install it. Okay, now we're working on this is an 18-inch 14 by 18 round badge bass drum from the mid-60s, somewhere thereabout. And I've taken the rail Consolette off, and I'm going to show you how to correctly install one. Here's your basic rail Consolette, and the best way to do this is to take you can use a wrench. It's a 7/16 closed-end wrench, or I'm using a socket with a electric drill, and I'm going to take these ends off of here, these 7/16 nut bolts off of here. So I've got those removed. I'm going to take this. Just take the rail off of the mounting plate, and then same thing here. We've got the 7/16 nuts on the bottom of these carriage bolts. Take those off, and the washers. Now some people would go ahead and install this with the rail on there. I'm going to show you why you don't do that. If you look at this, you'll see that. Let me get you focused here. Remove the camera. If you look at this, you'll see that if you have these sticking, the screws, you can see that they don't line up here. And with the rail on here, they won't go up any further. So really, you want to put these carriage bolts flat here on this, like this, on the, I just dropped one, on the mounting plate. I'll put one of them in there. That way it's flat on there. I'm just going to lay that there. And I'm going to put the other carriage bolt in there. Now you're ready to install your washer, your big ass washer. You got your lock washer, sorry, and the nut. And put those on there. So many people leave the thing together, and that would be a big problem. It just jams up. You really need to take the thing apart to put it on. That's the reason for this. I've had people get a hold of me and they say, "Oh, I can't get the thing on there." I say, "Yeah, it's because you're leaving the rail on the mounting plate." I'm just surprised that people don't, take them apart. So I'm just going to loosely put that on there because this isn't the rail that's going on this drum. I'll go ahead and tighten it up. What the heck? Okay, so we got the rail on there, the mounting plate on there. Now I'm going to take my rail consolette. I'm going to put it in the correct position on here. You'll see there's slots here. They have to meet with these protrusions here. And put one bolt in there. I'll go ahead and tighten it up a little bit. Get the other one in there. Okay, so we've got that on there now. Okay, so we've got the rail mount all installed on here. I'm just going to loosen the, I call it the dial. I don't know what this is. It's got all these holes in it all the way around. And then it has this little pin that locks it in. So I'm just going to take this and show you what you can do with it. I like to have my spade arm all the way in, because also I like to have my rail, this part here up closer to the top. So you can have this like this. You can move it all the way around, you know, and it locks into, of course you know that. So I'm just going to quickly use the wrench on there. All right. Now we're going to put the tom on here. And you'll see what goes on with these shorter spades. You'll see it's touching the rim. And that's not cool. It's going to affect your sound of your tom and just everything. So if you don't mind it resting on there, that's great. But I do. So what you can do is, as you notice, my tom is at an angle. That's about the angle I like it, right there. So really, what you can do is you can use a longer spade. And I'm going to get one right now and show you. Here's a longer spade. I actually make these. What I do is I take like a cymbal arm that's not being used, or a leg or whatever. This is 3/8 chrome. I cut them off at whatever desired length you would like. Usually are about 5 inches, but you can go longer if you think you need it higher. And then I take the short spade, and say you got a one that you just don't want to use, and I'll actually heat this part up here and take this off of this pin here. Look at, someone threaded this thing. I don't know why. But I'll actually take this piece off of here, and then what I do is I bend it to this shape here, rather than it being like this. I just actually flatten it out and bend it at an angle. And then I weld it on, braze it on there. That's my brazing job. Because it's kind of hard to find these spades, these longer ones, and they cost an arm and a leg when you do. So I just make them, and they work great. I've sold them to several people, and they're real happy with them. And then I like this to be bent this way a little bit, because a lot of times these diamond plates wear out. They just, this loop here starts getting more wider, and I'll show you that later, how to maybe repair those a little bit. So let me get this spade in here, and we'll continue on. Take the tom off, and so the best way to do this is, these things don't usually want to remove out of here. No, this one does. So if they don't come out of there very easily, you can, like, you can put a thicker screwdriver here, and you can, you know, give it a bash, and it'll open up this clamp here. Okay, so now we've got our long spade. We just want to put it right in the, oh yeah, you know, normally this thing would be facing this way. Obviously, it would be facing this way, and you wouldn't put it in this way. So you can either do this, you can put it that way too, if you want to. And I don't, but I suppose if that works for you, great. That could cause the tom to hit, I would think, down here. I'm not sure if that works. So I put mine, I have seen people do it that way though. So I put mine this way. You could bring it all the way down here. It can almost touch the rail if you want it a little lower. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, we're going to put it right there. Now this is an 18-inch bass drum, so make sure that that's locked in that hole. It is. This is an 18-inch bass drum, so you're going to want it, you know, kind of higher. So I'm going to put the tom on there. And, you know, look at it. It's sitting at just a slight angle, and that's kind of what I want. You know, this diamond plate is starting to get loose, and I'm going to show you how to fix these here in a minute. Matter of fact, let's do that right now. I'm going to take this really nasty diamond plate. It's kind of worn out and no good, but I'm just going to show you what I do. As you can see, it's got more space in here than over here. That's because these rivets here are just pulling right out. You can see the whole thing is just loose. So we're going to try to straighten that out. And just take my ball peen here. Open this vise up a little bit so I can put both of these rivets right in the right spot. I want the rivets to sit right on each jaw, just right the way I want them. There's 1, 2. Okay, so that's sitting there. And then I want to get just the right punch for this. Something with a bigger nice big punch. And I'm just going to hold this on here like this. And you want to hit, just set the punch right in that hole. This may not be the right punch for this. We'll try it. And then really what I'm going to do here is I'm going to smash this thing down. So now we're getting this part here to get a little bit more close to the Trying to get this part here to get a little straighter. So let's tighten these rivets here first. I'm going to work on the other one here. I tighten it real quick with the punch, and then I'm going to hammer it down with my... I would take a lot more time with this if I had a really mint plate, but I don't. And this thing will probably never get used again. So I'm not really that worried about it. Okay, so now you can see it's nice and flat, but I don't have... It's closer here than it is here. You can see this is all jacked up. So I'm going to set this here like this, and I'm going to put a chisel in there and try to flatten that. Let's see if that helped. Yeah, that's helping. It's getting a lot better. Let's do the other side now. Okay. I want to do this side a little bit. Now, if you're working on a really nice one, you wouldn't need to do that to this plate. I mean, that's almost acceptable. Let's put the plate on this spade here. Yeah, it's pretty usable now. Look at that's flat. It slides in there. There's no room. You know, you probably wouldn't use this plate again. It's pretty beat. The chrome is flaking off. But if you needed one, and now this is just for demonstration purposes. Okay, so I've moved this clamp part down the rail a little bit. Let's see where the tom lines up now. So if you like your tom maybe a little bit flatter and off to the left a little bit, you might want to do that. I'm just giving you examples. You'd probably never want it down here. Originally they put these rails right between these two lugs, and I guess enough guys in the 50s said no, we need it up higher, so they moved it forward and centered it between this lug here. Now this is acceptable to me, but I'm just giving you ideas of the way you want to place this. And hopefully this helps other guys trying to get an adjustment on this to get it right. You'll also notice that I prefer this spade to be bent. As you see right here, it's got a bend to it. It's not straight up and down. It's got a slight, I don't know, 10-degree bend, something like that. And that can actually be done on the drum. You can take a crescent wrench, close it up here, and just close the wrench on here, and you can actually bend it. But I would take the rail off first. That's on there. I would take the rail off first to do it, put it in the vise. So anyway, hopefully this helps a few people, and you guys have a great day. So So when you're removing the rail consulate from the drum, it's the same process backwards. Always take these nuts off of here. Bolts, sorry. Just remove that. And then turn your drum over and remove the nuts out of there. That way they don't get jammed up.